Hey, I posted a clip yesterday with a fix for if you're suffering from sort of a stiff, tight neck, lacking range of motion in that rotational plane. And what I wanted to pop on today was just point out a couple things that I didn't kind of talk about in the video that some of you might be experiencing, because they were things that several years ago I definitely experienced. Following years of doing a lot of fitness and following cues like pull the shoulders back and down before I move, or pull the belly button to the spine before I moved, I had created a lot of tension in my back body and in my diaphragm and pelvic floor. So what would happen for me when I would lay down is Shavasana was terrible, number one, and often I would find my sacrum kind of going numb after a period of time. But laying with my legs out straight was really difficult. And when I would lay down, what would happen is instead of there being contact with my back ribs on the floor and feeling kind of a lot of my shoulder blade flat on the floor, I felt kind of that I would be resting on one point of my shoulder blade, and there would be a very big space, you can see my hand waving through, between my back ribs and the top of my pelvis. So I had a very lordotic low back. And what would happen is someone well-intentioned might say, like, draw your ribs down to try to alleviate this rib flare. And I would just bring tension then to my diaphragm and to my pelvic floor to flatten my back. Sometimes people would do that with intending to imprint the spine. And then there would be excessive tension in my cervical spine and the back of my skull when I would come here, as well as through my diaphragm and through my pelvic floor. And then some people would prop my upper body, but what I found that did was there was still a disconnect between my ribs and my pelvis. So what I found worked for me was once I started to prop my pelvis so that there was a better relationship between my rib cage and my pelvic bowl, then that back body tension started to go away and I had a much more neutral lumbar curve. Okay. It was much more neutral through my thoracic and cervical spines as well. And then the second thing that you could play with and explore is when you bend the arms, coming here, is just simply to protract the shoulder blades before you bring the hands to the wall. Now, a couple of things to notice when you protract, slide the shoulder blades away from one another and kind of around the rib cage, is that you're not pressing back into the floor excessively with your skull. So press out into the band. You could play with the rotation of your arms, and then just let the shoulder blades come around the rib cage to whatever degree they can. That doesn't have you hold your breath or change your pelvic position. And then bring your hands to the wall to find that simultaneous push and pull or gather with the fingertip pads and the heel of the hand. Okay, and then move into what I walked you through yesterday. So give it a whirl. Let me know what you discover and what works for you.